It's that time of year, time to watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. Although it will never quite live up to the greatness and atmospheric masterpiece that is It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, it is still a time-honored tradition in my family to watch it before or during every Thanksgiving. In this special, we have the main of our Peanuts gang with Snoopy, Charlie Brown, Linus, Lucy, and with a few additions that aren't always there being Peppermint Patty, Discount Velma, and Franklin. The holiday special is pretty straightforward as holiday specials go. However, there is one scene that has always confused me because I have never had any idea what on earth Linus and Marcy are talking about. Basically, Peppermint Patty is being an ass about the Thanksgiving meal she served, which is toast, popcorn, jelly beans, and pretzels, and an ice cream sundae, so she complains about it a bunch, which hurts Charlie Brown's feelings, so he leaves, and then she asks Marcy to repair the situation for her.
Marcy, maybe you can go to old Chuck and patch things up for me.
I think maybe you should go to Chuck and tell him yourself.
No, Marcy, I'll just ruin everything.
And then our holy prophet says this, and Marcy references this later on.
This is not unlike another famous Thanksgiving episode. Do you remember the story of John Alden and Priscilla Mullins and Captain Miles Standish?
This isn't like that one at all.
See you later, Charles.
Charles?
He's all yours, Priscilla.
Priscilla?
So what is our prophet talking about here? He's actually talking about a love triangle that includes 3 members of the Mayflower group, Priscilla Mullins, Miles Standish, and John Alden. Miles asked John to ask Priscilla for him if she would marry him. However, Priscilla responded, "Why didn't you ask me yourself?" and ends up marrying John instead. I can never be quite sure of whether or not this story is true because Longfellow, who wrote the poem that popularized the story, claims to be descended from Priscilla and John. The only basis for this legend is the fact that the families passed down this story over the generations, and the fact that Priscilla was probably the only woman of marriageable age for John and Miles. The story as told in Peanuts, however, is a little different, largely because of the way everybody is named. For example, Marcy calls Charlie Brown Charles, however there's nobody named Charles that has anything to do with the story. Second of all, in this situation, Charlie Brown would probably be more of a Priscilla, and Peppermint Patty would be more like Miles, and Marcy herself would probably represent John. I don't like these changes too much because, in the end, Miles doesn't get the girl, and Peppermint Patty still gets what she wants out of the situation, out of coercing and weaseling her way into Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving celebrations and then getting mad at him when he is massively underprepared for 3 extra guests. Also, the story has next to nothing to do with Thanksgiving. The only connection is that the people in the story came from the Mayflower, and the people on the Mayflower apparently had the first Thanksgiving. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving, Pumpkinists. I hope yours was fantastic.
You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad.